Hey everybody, we are trying to get this going again. I had my restream all set up, and when I hit the go live button, it just went plop. So I don't know what I did wrong there. Hey Ninja, welcome. I don't know if any notices went out. Um, like I said, I had my restream all pulled up, ready to go, and then when I hit go live, it just it died on me. That's the only way to put it. It died. Good. Well, at least something worked. At least something worked. Well, I hope you had a wonderful Easter weekend. Enjoyed a beautiful weekend. Um, Something popping up. I don't know what it is. I am glad to be back in the saddle, as they say. I've had a couple of rough weeks and still sore. I broke my eighth rib, and it's kind of in your back. And just being able to breathe there for a couple of days was a challenge. Ended up at the emergency room, and it was really a freak thing because I did fall out of the bed, but this was like 4 days later when the rib thing hit me. And I don't know if I don't know what happened, but um, that Friday I was really struggling to breathe and in a lot of pain, and ended up going to the emergency room, and they were like, well, the reason you can't breathe is because you broke a rib. And so they gave me a knockout shot and sent me home. And that, like I said, first 5 days I canceled doggy daycare, and I knew I couldn't handle some of them guys coming in, and rested all week. And then last week, I let the daycare babies come back, but the ones that I have to wrestle with, it was self service, which is wonderful when you have customers that are so good to you and used to you that they'll be like, "Now, don't you let the dog jump on you. I'm going to put them where they go." And it's just such a cool thing. But I am feeling better. I did find out the hard way that when it doesn't hurt, doesn't mean that you just start going for it, because I had kind of a relapse last Wednesday of, hard to breathe again, but I figured it was from overdoing it on Tuesday of it didn't hurt. So I was reaching and pulling and doing this and that. Well, and they said it'd be 4 to 6 weeks to get it healed. So, but anyway, I missed you guys, and I wanted to go live last Wednesday, April 1st, was my 40th anniversary for Wagon Tails, and just cannot believe it's been 40 years. I was 22 years old when I quit a job at a defense industry company, making very good salary for a 22-year-old, and um, I I quit that, and my parents thought I'd absolutely lost my mind, going into debt for dogs, especially my dad, who was not a real dog person. He just, and my mom loved him, but dad was just, he wasn't a dog man. And uh, I always get tickled at the banker when I went in trying to get a loan. And at the time, my brother had a roofing company and had built several houses. And of course, my parents had done business with this bank for years. and this man was not a dog person. And so he was kind of looking at me like my dad. You want to go in debt for dogs? I mean, what's the deal? And anyway, he become one of my biggest supporters after my first 5 or 6 years, especially when I was doing the dog shows and would go to these civic group meetings trying to get sponsors for the dog show. And Mr. Horton, he would come hug my neck every time and say something about, kids, you just really shocked me. You just really shocked me. And of course, my mom and dad, I was blessed to have them as they retired. Uh, dad was constantly doing something. There was always a fence or a board or something that needed worked on. And I'd look around and a boarding dog would not be in their spot. And my dad would let the dog go with him doing different things. And like I said, he just was not a dog person, but I was so blessed to have them. My mom would sit there combing on a dog that I had to groom, and uh, it was a big help if there was a lot of combing done needed done. Mom would do that while I was working on another one. And when I got the one on the table, I had two Pekingese that came weekly, and they were in show coats. And I'm talking thick, just like you see at a dog show on TV. These Pekingese, especially one of them, and they were out of a lady that shows peaks and has done a lot of winning with them. But mom would those dogs, and they didn't like anybody but my mom and me, other than their family. Everybody else, the vet, anybody else, they'd try to eat your lunch. But I can remember mom sitting in the chair and Sasha laying on his back, and mom combing, and he'd roll one way and she just combed, and the dog loved it. And of course I loved it because by the time I got him on the table, the workload was way less, and I could go into the where he needed clippers used, his feet, and his pads on his feet, and what we call a maintenance groom. But anyway, wonderful memories. And I moved both of my parents in. In fact, this room is so special because this was my first kennel in this room, and I had 12 runs. Of course, there's a wall there that used to not be there, but we had to let the dogs out, one at a time through this door over here. And now all these years later, they just go in and out when they want to, and unless it's bad weather or something that I need to shut the doggy doors. But both of my parents spent their last days in this room, and my mom was only 69 when I lost her to Alzheimer's. And in fact, today is the 23rd anniversary of losing my mom. And dad, they'd been married 52 years when mom passed away. And dad made it for probably about 5 or 6 years before his health started going downhill. And he actually had an accident. I was fussing at him to get out of the house and do something. He had always been a big gardener and that kind of stuff. And I was like, Dad, you cannot just sit in this house. You got to get out. Well, he decided he was going to burn leaves. And he calls me one Saturday morning and it's like, do you have anything for a burn? Well, I'm thinking, he burned himself on the stove cooking breakfast or something. And I was like, I'll be right there. Well, he had caught his pants on fire with burning leaves. He had had to pull his pants off outside to get the fire out. And he comes in the house and he had third degree burns from his ankle to his crotch. And I walk in and I'm like, yeah, Dad, I got something, the hospital, and it was killing me because he was walking on it. He was in a lot of pain, but he actually burnt the nerves. So that's why it wasn't as painful as you know it would be. I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't in pain, but anyway, I always say that's what saved his life, though. He had had a heart condition that was the reason he didn't feel like going outside. And I'd had him to all kinds of doctors, and they'd done every test in the world, and they couldn't find anything. And so when I got him, you look like are you sick at your stomach or something? You just got a funny look on your face, goodness. But they, while we had him in the hospital for his leg and them they had to do skin grafts and all that, he had an episode with his heart like he'd been having. Well, come to find out it was a widowmaker. And so he had to have open heart surgery like right then. So had it not been for the burn, I'm afraid he would have had a heart attack and us, lost him then. But we spent 63 days in the hospital after his burn and heart surgery. And when the doctors, when we left, they told my brother, he wouldn't probably live 30 days because he had a lot of issues going on. But I was so thankful to move him in with me, and he lived 5.5 years with me here. And we had a little door thing where the dogs couldn't come down in his room, but he kept up with the dogs, and so it was just awesome. Hey, Happy, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I have missed you guys. I really didn't even feel like getting in the chats the last week or so. I'm telling you, broke rib is not a fun thing, and just kind of had the crud too. So trying to cough when you have broke ribs is a real issue. That's just a boarding dog. Yeah, that's just a boarding dog. You wondering where Great Goodness went? Y'all sit down. We're doing a live, and y'all wanted to be on the live. Can you wave at them, Kelsey? Can you wave at the people? Give them a good wave. Give them a good wave, Kelsey. You gotta wave. You ain't gonna wave? Get off the edge. I don't like you on the edge. Wave. Wave. I'm waiting to go pick up Believe. She had 6 baby puppy teeth removed today. And I knew she had at least 3, but it turned out to be 6 that they had to pull. And my vet was so great to come by and pick her up on her way to work. And so I know Believe was like, what are you doing to me, Mama? Why are you handing me to this stranger? But that's such an awesome blessing too. I knew I couldn't leave with daycare babies coming in, and my partner, she had to be at school early for something they had going on. So that's that extra blessing when you have a vet that's wanting to work with you and will do that kind of stuff. I have a hound puppy, I'm sure y'all can hear, that's right in outside this door that she has found something to bark about. And so she's just telling us she's found something. But everybody have a good Easter, good weather during the weekend. We had we had rain all day Saturday, which we desperately need. And it was one of those days where it just kind of slow rain all day. And then Sunday, yesterday, it was just beautiful day. I mean, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, Ninja, there's always something to bark about around here. And she is exercising her right to bark. Tons of rain. New roof a year ago and a leak. Oh no, Happy. I'm sorry to hear that. That is no fun. Y'all quit grumping. I don't know who's grumping. Just let's quit doing ears. Somebody's not wanting their ears done. No, leave them alone. Don't show that ugly face. No. Excuse me. Yeah, that's not a good thing to pay for a new roof and have a leak. That's just heartbreaking. Ninja said it's drizzly here today. We needed the rain. Yeah, I knew we've had a burn ban a couple times, but I didn't realize. I was watching the weather the other day, and I didn't realize that we were in such a drought concern that it's getting very critical. So we need some good rain. When they start talking about your water supply, it's like, okay, we need to go the other direction. Okay, Cotton, what are you doing? Come here, Cotton. I like to have Cotton in the live, but I don't trust her for not hearing something and flying off there. She's got her own mind, and she does what she wants to when she wants to. I tell you what, she's just telling us she is out the door. I'm surprised she ain't scratching on it. Usually if they hear me in here, they'll scratch on the door because they're like, there she is. We found her. Well, I've sure missed you guys. I was hoping people wouldn't forget me. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, and they talk about, how you got to do it. And it is a lot of work. Anybody that does a YouTube thing, they absolutely have a lot of work to do. Thank you, Ninja. I appreciate that. And I missed you guys, but it was just one of them things where that I had to take the first week off, and then last week I was still, if I moved too fast or whatever. But I think this weekend I made a turn. I've got a dog show week after next, the 16th, I believe is the date, a 4-day show. And it'll be Believe's first show. She was 6 months old on the 20th. So this will be her debut in the show ring. And I've got Cotton entered, and I'm excited. I've only been to one dog show this year, and normally by April I've been to at least 3, sometimes 4. No, what is Happy's new name? I didn't see that. I turned on J Hip this morning and got bits and pieces. Ninja is Happy's new name. Happy Ninja, huh? Oh no. All right, y'all get me in What did I miss? Info. I have to go back and watch JJ's whole show. Was it this morning's show? Are you talking about? Did you catch the Just J Hip show where Happy got a new name? And Happy said, LOL Ninja. And Ninja's saying, no. Oh, I got it. LOL Ninja. Sometimes brain cells take a couple of seconds to catch up with me. Cotton, did you want to be on camera? Come here, Cotton. You want to be on camera? Oh, I'm sorry. You being extra touchy. I just touched you. What did you think? Now, don't make them jealous in the background. No growling at each other. We got the grand dams that are still jealous of Mama having a new one in here. But they have been so good about getting along and all that. Okay, Happy, what's the new name? I gotta know. Hey, Sharon, welcome. Kelsey, get off the edge. You're on the edge. Get off the edge. Are you gonna wave? Wave? No, I don't want you on the edge. That's too close. Just because I picked up Cotton, you can wave. You can wave. You want to fuss at Cotton. I can see that on your face. Kelsey. Kelsey. Just wave at him, Kelsey. Oh, you quit growling at him. Wave. No. Wave. Get on the edge. Get off the edge, girls. Y'all not listening. Cotton's growling. Oh, these babies. What did I miss? Okay, is Snickers Happy's new name? You're leaving me hanging, Ninja. And see, I don't know. I'm on YouTube Direct through YouTube channel. My restream went down right as I was fixing to. Well, I put go live, and then it says your stream is dead or something. Sharon says my little chihuahua, her name is Honey Bunny. That's sweet. Are you on top messages or in all messages? I have no idea, Ninja. Y'all know I'm learning all this, and I guess I don't use it enough that even my mouse stays working. Let's see. It says I'm on top chat and live chat. So I click. I did all messages. Which one do I need to be on? Because I'm going back. Sharon joined. Just a puppy. Snickers is a good name. So I think I've got it on all the messages. If that's where I'm supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, I got it on all messages. So did I miss a response from you, Ninja? Is that why you asked me that? Most creators use top message. Okay. I mean, it's got top fans. No, that just shows who's in here. And live chat. And top chat. But I've got it on live. I'll put it back on live chat. I think that's where it was from the beginning. Yeah, I was going to go do a video of my donkey. Oh, no, we don't want you to be blocking. How come I can see that, but you didn't see something else? That's crazy. Ninja says, I bet YouTube is blocking my post. And Sharon, you have 5 chihuahuas total. Well, I have a total of 12. Oh, well, I have to go back and listen to JJ's show and see what he called Happy. Because we have to take up for Happy now. She's in most of the chats pushing things along. So, but yeah, Ninja, your messages are coming up now. So I don't know what that, if you sent something a while ago and it didn't come through. But yeah, I have 12 Chihuahuas. 12 Chihuahuas have me. And I would have 40 if I wanted to, but no, I'm at my limit. I got 3 that are, let's see, they're 12 and 13, so they're getting up there, and these are my youngest guys, and Oops is, let's see, Oops will be 9 in this month. So, yes, Happy, I saw that message. Hey, Chucky, welcome. You have 1 devil dog, and he is amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I've had, as I call them, personal protection chihuahuas, PPCs, but for the most part, mine are pretty outgoing. Now, I mean, they will act like chihuahuas. If somebody knocked on that door, they'd be going nuts, and I'd be grabbing dogs trying to keep them from jumping. Okay, let me try. Darlene J called me. I see that, Happy. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen to Jay's stream. Like I said, I had it on, but customers were coming in and out, and I got a little bit of the flea count, and the word starts with a B. Ooh. Oh, I know where you're going. You talking about a female dog? Cujo, I like that. A Chihuahua named Cujo is randomly barking at people on the street, passersby as we speak. Yeah. Hey, he's protecting his residents. Don't want anybody to sneak up. I tell you what, with the 12 chihuahuas and all the daycare babies, I think we have 23 daycare babies today. And nobody sneaks up on wagging tails, that's for sure. Well, Happy, I have to get into the story of why that happened. We'll have to fix JJ Bean up. Sharon says the FedEx guy that delivers my chew order and my prescription just loves my chihuahuas. Yeah, I mean, these guys, and it's funny, I have certain customers that I'll let them run through from the living room out to my big room. And say they're greeting the person or their dog, and I love that. And that helps them to accept strangers and stuff. Happy said it was all in good fun. Jay Ninja says Jay loves Happy. Well, I figured, Jay JJ sounds like a pretty good dude. He is funny to listen to, but you can get around some of those jokes, and I can't imagine what last Wednesday was like on April Fool's Day. He probably was having fun with that. Y'all don't see nothing to bark at. Nobody's here. I don't know why Cotton just ran away like she saw something. But y'all just chill. We on the live, and y'all have buddies on the live looking at y'all, and they ain't no fun. Well, I was gonna say, I was today. My mom passed away 23 years ago today. But that also means my miniature donkey, Eloise, who is named after my mom, she was the day after Mom's funeral. So tomorrow, it would be 23 years since I went and got Eloise. And she was a 7-month-old mini donkey and about the size of a border collie. And I had one of them Jeep Liberties, and it was my mom's caregiver. Oh, Happy, thank you for joining. And anyway, and her husband, and then me and my partner. So 4 of us in a little Jeep Liberty. And when I saw her out in the pasture, I was like, that's my girl. And Darla was like, how are you going to get her home? I'm like, we're putting her in the back of the Jeep. No, we're not. Well, David speaks up and says, I can pick her up and set her in there. Y'all listen. Could y'all hear that? Oh no, she just must have heard me talking about her. She just talking back. But anyway, we put that donkey in the back of that Jeep, and I sat in the back seat petting her. And it was about an hour and a half trip, and she did not potty. She passed gas a couple times. We had to roll the windows down, but I could not believe that donkey rode to Camden in the back of that little Jeep Liberty. And we stopped at a convenience store, and the 3 of them got out and went inside to get something. And I stayed just petting her, and she was so calm. And these people would walk by going in the store, and then they're like, turn back like, that wasn't a dog, that's a donkey. So it was pretty fun. Well, guys, thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to have to run to the vet and pick up my baby girl before we have to open back up at 4 for daycare babies. But hopefully I can get the restream figured out and get a notification out. Ninja said she got the notification, so awesome. But I thank y'all so much, and I'm planning on another live at 2:30 Wednesday, and we will see all you good people then. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and remember, there's always something to bark about. Take care. Love y'all.